Right?
Okay. So great, we are going to start. A warm welcome to all supporters from YouTube and Facebook, especially those who join in the morning, and welcome back to the grand final of Telling Science by Agilent 2021. I'm your host for today, Wen Yun, and in the morning we have a great stories from the primary school finalists that has been talking about echolocations, artificial intelligence for the team of superhuman. And right now, we are going to moving forward for our secondary school finalists, where they are going to showcase their stories about superhumans. Aren't you guys excited? So if you have any thoughts or comment about superhuman, please drop down your comment down into this YouTube channel or Facebook channels. So in let's not wait further. We are going to introduce everyone to our panel of judges. We are very glad to have our panel of judges from different backgrounds. So first, let's welcome Mr. Muhammad Irizuddin Kamaruddin from Agilent Technologies. Formerly known as Dean, he completed his PhD on cancer proteomics in the University of Melbourne, Australia, where he researched extensively on proteins and see how protein actually relates to cancer. Mr. Dean has been working in Agilent Technologies since 2013. He enjoys outdoors activities such as hiking and cycling. So let's welcome Mr. Dean. Hi.
Hi everyone.
Welcome.
Hi. Yeah, congratulations to the finalists. So I can't wait to hear all your stories. So yeah, bring it on. Yeah.
Yes, bring it on, all finalists. Please prepare your best, and Mr. Dean is ready for you. So
Yeah.
next we have Dr. Kumita from University of Science Malaysia. Dr. Kumita completed her degree in the US and did her PhD on genome editing in US as well. This technique often predicted to give rise to superhumans because of the tool's ability to change the genetic sequence of any organism. She has received several awards for her extensive research on infectious disease, and recently she just returned from University of Oxford after completing her CRISPR project. So it was very, very impressive about the CRISPR project. I wish to know more about that. She's now currently involved in COVID-19 work and enjoy volunteering and giving science-based talks to the public. Let's welcome Dr. Kumita.
Hi, thank you so much for
Welcome.
the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Super excited for the second half of today's competition. All the best. I'm sure you guys will do amazing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Kumita, for your encouragement. And lastly, we have Ms. Azlina Marikan from SMJK Jitsin 2 with teaching experience of 15 years and still counting. She has been a constant feature in physics competition from water rocket designing to solar car competition. Ms. Azlina also believes that physics could lead us to better understand superhuman as physics studies the natural phenomenon and the universe. So let's welcome Miss Azlina.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So, and congratulations to all five finalists. Okay, I'm very excited today to hear your story. I can't wait. So, let's begin.
Great, I think Miss Azlina is so ready for these sessions. So let's welcome our panel of judges with a big light to this live broadcast. So before this competition begins, we will have a very short welcoming sessions from all our partners who support in this year Telling Science by Agilent 2021. So first, we are pleased to have Mr. Ui Pengyi, the Chief Executive Officer from Penang Science Cluster, to deliver his speech. Let's welcome Mr. Ui.
Thank you, Wen Yun. Good afternoon to all, and welcome to this year's Telling Science by Agilent competition. As Wen Yun says, my name is Wei Peng Yi, the CEO of Penang Science Cluster. Now, Telling Science is jointly organized by Penang Science Cluster and Agilent Technologies Malaysia, with the generous sponsorship from Agilent. Firstly, I want to congratulate all students who participated in this competition. regardless of whether you enter the finals, in my mind, you are already winners. You have all won because by participating in this competition, you have deepened your understanding of science, learned how to research, organize information, and develop your storytelling and communication skills. All these skills are critical to your future success. The Telling Science competition is organized for that purpose, to inspire students in the learning of science and to highlight the importance of science communication. If you think that being a genius is good enough without the need to communicate well, I'm sorry to say you are mistaken. The truth is that even geniuses need to be able to convince others to support them. Example, in getting collaborators or funding their research. Let me share with you a true story from my many years of working in a multinational. Frequently, our engineers had to communicate, work with their counterparts in the United States. And frequently, when there's problems, right, there will be teleconferences across the oceans to discuss what is the best path forward to resolve this. And when the American engineers and our Malaysian engineers get together to discuss, guess which side will dominate the discussion, right? It's always the American engineers, okay? And our US managers will tell us how come, the Malaysian engineers don't seem to be able to put forth good solutions. Now, our response to them is actually our engineers, our Malaysian engineers know their stuff, right? They know, what the right approach and the solution is. Unfortunately, they are not as convincing in communicating, right, what they know and to persuade and to influence their counterparts to adopt, their recommended solution. You see, if the difference is American engineers, even though they may not be as conversant or as knowledgeable, they appear very confident because of the ability to communicate well, right? So that tells you the importance of being able to communicate, all right? So with that, to the students who are in the finals today, well done and good luck in your presentation afterwards. No matter the results, keep on learning and practicing your science communication skills. Last but not least, Penang Science Cluster is grateful to Agilent Technologies for sponsoring this latest program. PSC is thankful to Agilent for the strong support and collaboration that they have given us all these years. So thank you, Agilent Technologies Malaysia. A big thank you also to our judges and the many volunteers that has helped us to bring this competition to you. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Uy, for your sharing of your personal experience. And I believe with this, your highlight, the student will know better how important the science communication is. Thank you, Mr. Uy. Right now, let us welcome the Director of Jambatan Pendidikan Negeri Pulau Pinang, Tuan Abdul Rashid bin Abdul Samad, to deliver his speech to all our audience and finalists who join us today. Let's welcome Tuan Abdul Rashid.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all my dear friends, especially to my dear kids. Firstly, I would like to congratulate our Penang Science Cluster and Agilent Technologies Malaysia for conducting Telling Science by Agilent 2021 for our students. JPN Pulau Pinang is in close partnership with Penang Science Cluster to drive science and innovation for our students. JPN is really honored to work with PSC to help our teachers to enable their students to realize their full potential. To my dear kids, our effort, and especially the effort by Agilent Technologies, we would like to see an increase in students doing STEM from 41 to 60% in the near future. We would like to see our kids, especially those in the science medium, increase their knowledge towards becoming more competent science students, inshallah. I will strongly encourage all schools to engage fully in Penang science cluster programs and to work with PSC to develop new workshops to benefit our students. Finally, to all my teachers and to my kids, inshallah, Penang will be leading in line with our tagline, Penang Pulau Pinang Penaraju Transformasi Pendidikan Negara, insyaAllah. Sekian, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Tuan Abdul Rashid, for his kind words. We will look forward to having more competent science students in Penang in the futures. Thank you, thank you. So last but not least, it is our honor to invite Mr. Chai Meng Fee, the Country General Managers of Agilent Technologies, to share his speech. Welcome, Mr. Chai.
And congratulations to you, our finalists, and I look forward to your presentation. Agilent Malaysia is proud to sponsor Telling Science by Agilent in partnership with Penang Science Cluster. We seek out fun projects and experiments for students to learn exciting facts through science and to stir up the interest to pursue an education in science. In this program, Telling Science by Agilent, you have the opportunity to practice, develop, and improve your scientific communication skill. We trust in this competition, you are moving a step closer to becoming a good science communicator. You, being an effective communicator, you can share your research findings with the general public to inform, educate, and to raise awareness. You, as an effective communicator, you can communicate the relevance and impact of your research findings to experts to further advance scientific discoveries. To all students, teachers, and volunteers, thank you for your interest and participation in Telling Science by Agilent. Take care and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chai, for all your supports to this Telling Science by Agilent 2021. Thank you all once again for the encouraging speeches from our partners. Let's not wait further. We shall begin today the grand final for secondary school category of Telling Science by Agilent 2021. I think all of our finalists is ready to present their stories to all the audience out there on YouTube and Facebook. So right now, let's welcome our first finalist of this senior category of Telling Science by Agilent 2021, Noel Xavier Candice. Would you please unmute yourself, and we are going to get ready for your presentations. Yes? Ready? Good. And the stage is yours.
Hi everyone, my name is Noel. Today I'm going to talk about a superhuman. Yes, and I call him the Batman. But it's not the comic book super Batman, he's actually a blind man named Daniel Kish. He's an American expert in echolocation and also the president of World Access for the Blind. But what really makes him so special to be a superhuman? Let's hear his interesting backstory. Kish was born in 1966, Montebello, California. Unfortunately, he was only 13 months old when he had his eyes removed because of eye cancer. But he is also the first totally blind person to legally certified orientation and mobility specialist and hold national blindness professional certification. Not just that, he also holds master's degrees in development psychology and special education from University of California, Riverside. Kish's works inspired everyone in the world. In a 2009 study in a University of Alcalá in Madrid, Spain, 10 study subjects were taught basic navigation skills within a few days. The study aimed to analyze the various sounds which can be used to echolocate and evaluate which were most effective. So you see why I call him the Batman? Bats are blind, and how do they travel in the night? So they use echolocation, which is traveling while making sounds. The echoes will be reflected by objects so they know if there's any obstacles, prey, or even predators. So data kids use the same ways as the bats do. In another study, MRI brain scans were taken of Kish and another echolocation expert to identify part of the brain involved in echolocation. The reading suggests the brain structures that process visual information in sighted people process echo information in blind echolocation experts. Kish was named an Ashoka Fellow in 2017. Fellows are leading entrepreneurs recognized for their innovative solution for social problems and potential to change patterns across the society. Not just that, Kish and his organizations taught a form of applications to at least 500 children around the world. Well, that's all, folks, about the Batman, Daniel Kish, and I am once and for all your Noel talking about superhumans. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, wait for a while. Don't leave us, Noel. Yes, thank you for your story about the Batman. Now we know echolocation better with your story right now. Are you ready for your Q&A, Noel?
Yes.
Yes. This time, let us have Mr. Dean to kickstart this Q&A sessions. The stage is yours.
All right. Hi, Noel. Yeah. Thank you so much. And I think it's a very nice example that you gave about echolocation, like example on the bat and how it relates to the scientific terms there. Okay. My question is, okay, I'll start with very general, maybe. Like if you have an ability, right, to be a superhuman, right, what would you choose?
I would choose quick calculation because
Quick
it would
calculation.
help. Because it will help in my future.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I am an engineer, I can easily calculate the room space or cube roots very easily. So it will really help in my future.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you.
Wow, that's very informative, and you seems to want to be an engineer. Thanks for the sharing. And right now, can we have Miss Azlina for the next questions? Yeah.
Okay, hi. Hi, Neil. Okay, so I want to ask you, what do you think the Daniel Kish, right? Daniel Kish is a blind, but he can do better than a normal human. So, who or what factor that help him to become a superhuman? Besides from the sound sense, okay, what is the factor that help him?
He learned everything by himself. He just learned everything by himself, and he started to become a professional in it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks for these questions, Miss Azlina. Next, can we have Dr. Kumita?
Hi, Noel. Thank you so much for your story. Mine is a two-part question. Is echolocation training typically available in Malaysia? And if it is not, what would you do? What can you think of that may help people who are visually impaired?
I don't know if this echolocation training is in Malaysia, but if it's not, it would be easy if you can teach from basics to professional step by step, either using YouTube or any books related to it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, thanks for the information. And this is very good intention that we would like to have more people know about echolocations. Before we end your sessions, Noel, do you have anything that you would like to share with us?
No, that's all.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for Noel. And right now, we are going to head for our second finalist of today's sessions. We will have Vignesh Anak Perempuan Raman, who is going to present her story, The Miracles of Ultra Homo Sapiens. Vignesh, will you please unmute yourself and also turn on your camera? So are you ready? So let's welcome Vignesh Anak Perempuan Raman from SMK Common Labolite to present her story, The Miracles of Ultra Homo Sapiens.
Hello everyone, I'm Vignesh Raman and today I'm going to talk about the miracles of Ultra Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens is the species to which all human beings belong to, and Ultra Homo sapiens means superhumans. The term superhuman refers to humans or human-like forms who have strength, ability, agility, and stamina far exceeding those that are physically possible to normal human beings. What is so special about superhumans? Well, superhumans have super speed. This means that they can run a mile and do things in a very short period of time. Other than that, superhumans have super senses. They have better balance and stronger senses. For an example, they can hear someone at the door before the dog does. Telepathy or mind control. Superhumans are the only one who can hear those who are thinking out loud. So be careful when we're thinking. What makes superhuman so different from us? Well, superhumans usually have a higher nature or greater power than normal humans. This includes exceeding ordinary human powers and achievements. For an example, Madam Shakuntala Devi, who got Guinness World Record for the fastest human computation. She correctly multiplied 13-digit numbers in just 28 seconds. She got this special ability when she was 3 years old, and her father discovered his daughter's ability to calculate numbers and also to remember numbers while teaching her a card trick. It all began with extracting cube roots of large numbers, which she can do in her head rapidly. Other than that, Mr. Albert Einstein, who is widely acknowledged to be the greatest physicist of all time, he contributed important contributions to the development of theory of quantum mechanics and theory of relativity, which are the two pillars for the modern physics. How to become a mentally superhuman? Well, there are 3 ways to become a mentally superhuman. Make sure you don't miss any one of them. First, have a growth mindset. You must believe that you can achieve anything that you want without failure. Second is journaling. Journaling helps to empower you to find a solution rather than thinking of all the things that could go wrong. Third is meditation. Meditation helps to empower you and create self-motivation. As we all know, conquer your mind, conquer your life. Every human is special in their own way. We can create a superhuman artificially, but not 100% the same due to some limitations. For an example, robot which uses artificial intelligence can be very intelligent, but at the same time, there are some limitations in that human's creation. And that's all for now, and I believe that you have a better understanding about superhumans. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinesh Raman, for your stories. Right now, I actually know that there are so many superpowers since you listed them all out. And also, I'm surprised by you mentioning the growth mindset. It was very, very inspiring. So next, are you ready for your Q&A? Good. Let's have Dr. Kumita to kickstart her Q&A sessions. Here we go.
Thank you so much, Vignesh. That was very interesting. I was quite worried to hear that there are actually people who can read our minds. I'm going to take one of the questions that was asked by one of the judges earlier. It sounds like you've already kind of identified some traits that will help you improve and be closer to a superhuman. So, if you could choose to be a superhuman, what would it be?
If I get the chance to become a superhuman, I would choose to have a stronger memory power, because with a stronger memory power, I can study hard, I can improve my academic achievements, and I'll get the world's greatest power, which is known as education. With that education, I can help those poor who are seeking for helping hands in this entire world.
Thank you.
Wow, that was very, very indeed a very good deed that you mentioned that education is the greatest power of all. So right now, let's move on to Miss Azlina.
Okay, hi Witness.
Hello.
Okay, I want to ask you. Okay, for superhuman have special abilities. So what do you think? Why this kind of human have their special abilities? What encourage them to have these special abilities?
what encouraged them to have these special abilities. Okay, so first of all is they have a higher mind level, which is thinking level. Their abilities are higher than the ordinary humans because they might have it, they might get it from the genetics. Because we cannot compare a superhuman to a normal human, since if you want to become a superhuman, you must have some superpowers in your gene. Without that, you cannot become a superhuman. So the content in the gene is the one that help a person to become a superhuman.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, great, great. That was very great to know that you are saying that they are the genius, those superhumans are being born and they could find it via their genetics difference from us. So I think now we have the last questions from Mr. Dean. Over to you.
Hey, Venus. So
Hi.
hi. Yeah. So that's very nice storytelling, right? And I like the holistic, practical approaches that you stated at the end, right? That's like applicable to all of us. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. I would like to ask something. One of the points that you mentioned there about meditation. Maybe you can describe the science behind the meditation.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I would like to start from the basic. When we
Mm-hmm.
compare a person who is not doing meditation, who doesn't practice meditation, and a person who practices meditation every day.
Mm-hmm.
So when we look at the way they solve the problem, everyday situations problem, we will clearly see and understand that those who practices meditation every day has the better ability to solve the problem compared to the normal person.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what makes someone to be special, since they have the ability to control their mind. When you do meditation, you won't get distracted with all the surrounding problems, and you have the perfect path to achieve what you want, and you won't be easily distracted by the surrounding.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks. Thanks to all judges for the question as well as Vignesh. Do you have anything to share with us? No. Thank you so much again for your very remarkable presentations. Thank you. And right now, as our judges ready, we are going to move on to our third finalist of this secondary school category today. So we are going to have No Aisha Adila binti Zafri from SMKA Sheikh Abdullah Fahim. Would you please unmute yourself and turn on your camera? Yep, are you ready? Great. So let's welcome No Aisha Adila binti Zafri from SMKA Sheikh Abdullah Fahim, who will present her story, The Blind Man Who Can See. Let's welcome Aisha Adila.
Assalamualaikum. Good afternoon, everyone. The superhuman story that I have for you today is about Daniel Kish, the blind man who can see. Yes, you heard me right. Kish is completely blind. He lost sight in both his eyes when he was 13 months. Yet, he uses his ears to see through echolocation. When Kish walks around unfamiliar places, he clicks his tongue and then listens as the sound bounces off nearby objects. Kish had trained his brains to turn this image into Kish had trained his brains to turn these sounds into an image of sort, or an auditory map that helped him move around. And Kish is the founder of a non-profit called World Access for the Blind. His goal is to teach blind people all over the world the technique of human echolocation. So far, the group has taught 500 students at least all around the world. And in a presentation at PopTech, Kish described himself as a real-life Batman as he showed videos of his students riding mountain bikes through obstacle courses, playing basketball and skateboarding. And as a person who was blind since he was an infant, Kish says that something is broken with the way blind students all over the world learn, mainly because most of them are thought to be dependent on sighted people, partially since 99% of them are taught by people who can see. So Kish aims to liberate students. By clicking their tongues and listening to echoes from buildings, cars, and the like, he believes that they can be less dependent on sighted people. But of course, Kish admits that echolocation isn't perfect. Other creatures that use echolocation to see, such as bats, emit ultrasonic frequency. So human cannot do that. So bats definitely have an edge on in terms of use of ultrasound over human. However, Kish explains that the tongue click method is like seeing through dim light. Um, those dim flashes of light are enough to change a person's life. For example, allowing him or her to go hiking alone, ride a bike, or even do something as simple as enjoying a view at the coast. And not allowing blind people a chance to do these things, in my opinion, would be very short-sighted. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Aisha, Adila, for your sharing. Now I know that even you are a visually impaired person could also do outdoor activities like mountain bike or even hiking. It was eye-opening for me. And right now, are you ready for your Q&A? Yes. So let us start with Miss Azlina. Yeah, it's over to you, Miss Azlina.
Hi, Aisha. So what I want to ask you, okay, from the story of the Daniel Fish, can you tell us about the moral of the story that we can apply to our normal human being? Okay, can we apply the moral from the story of the Daniel Fish?
The moral of the story is everyone should try to achieve everything that they put their mind into. For example, Kish has led blind teenagers hiking and mountain biking in the wilderness, even though he himself is blind.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Wow, he even led a team of teenagers to actually venture out in the wilderness. This is new. I'll definitely check out this Daniel Kish. Right now, can we will move on with Dr. Kumita?
Thank you so much, Aisha. That was a very inspirational story. My question is, it's a science sort of question. Does echolocation only work in very quiet places since it requires on like echoes that comes from tongue clicking? So if you live in like Selangor where it's very loud, would it not work in a place like that?
Well, in my opinion, it depends on how well the person has trained himself, because we use human normally use echolocation in everyday life, but only people that practice active echolocation can really use it in their everyday life.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dr. Kumita. Last, us have Mr. Dean to have the last questions for these sessions.
Hi, Aisha. Yeah, I would like to compliment on like a very good example to compare like bats with animal, right? And relates that to echolocation concept, right? That's good example there. I would like to ask I think quite a tough question here. Like I'm just curious, like for human to achieve similar like back capability in terms of frequency, right? What do you think like the technology that we would require to do that, or what would we need to do to probably change human to achieve that? Yeah, based on your knowledge, yeah. Just curious. Yeah.
I think with the help of hearing aid,
Mm-hmm.
human can hear sounds way better. And
Mm-hmm.
with enough practice, we can learn to distinguish the sounds and determine the types of objects there are.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you all judges for the questions. Now, Aisha, do you have anything you would like to share with us and our audience out there? No? Oh, okay. So, right. Thank you. So, thank you for your outstanding performance by Noor Aisha Adila binti Zafri. Right now, we are going to have our 4 finalists for this Telling Science by Agilent 2021 senior category. We are going to have Lee Jian Song from SMK St. Xavier to give his presentation about fastest man alive. Are you ready?
Yes, very.
Very great. So let's welcome Jian Song from SMK St. Xavier. He will present his story, The Fastest Man Alive, Usain Bolt, the Lightning Bolt.
Hello there to all judges, finalists, and viewers. My name is Lee Jun Song. I'm happy today to be telling another superhuman story. Superhuman is a person who can show extraordinary things we humans are usually not capable of. I hope you all are excited as me. As who I might be telling might seem a bit familiar. The one and only Usain Bolt. He is from Jamaica and is the fastest sprinter officially recorded. So, how did he manage to run 100 meters in 9.58 seconds? Why do you think I'm here? To explain, of course, duh. So let's jump right into it. Let's go for a little backstory. He's a sport-obsessed student, excelled in football, cricket, you name it. At high school, his cricket coach saw his potential. At 16, he's the world junior champion of cricket. That's just a small step. In 2007, he broke all 3 records, 100 meter, 200 meter, and 4 times 100 meter records, securing a triple record for 3 whole years. Now, scientifically, how did Usain Bolt achieve this ultimate goal? Well, studies suggest his unique muscular shape. Bodies are made out of fibers, known as slow twitch fibers and fast twitch fibers. Slow twitch fibers are effective for long runs, consumes oxygen, while fast twitch fibers produce large amount of energy, does not consume oxygen but only available for short sprints. Usain Bolt is born with an imbalanced amount of fast twitch fibers. Besides, sprinters such as Bolt, through training, pushes the ground harder. According to Newton's third law of motion, every action has its own opposite reaction. By pushing the ground harder, Bolt can pick up more speed. That's why sprinters lift their legs up so high. Last but not least, which is quite common, his legs are long. This gives him a longer step, which saves his energy for the last 30-meter sprint. That's all that needs to be known. Hey, don't feel down. Just because your body shape isn't perfect doesn't mean you should give up. You'll find a spot to settle there somewhere. It's just a matter of time. Well, time's up. Hope you learned something new today. Goodbye.
Thank you, Jian Song. It was very, very interesting, and I just knew that we have different type of muscles such as slow twitch and fast twitch from your story. I had to Google it out and I realized, wow, I missed out a lot. So, are you ready for your Q&A?
More than ready.
Yeah, let's have Dr. Kumita to start this Q&A sessions. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Jansong. That was really interesting. As a biologist and a former runner, I really appreciate all the details in your story.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, so it sounds like there's 2 traits that would be quite important to be a fast runner. You could be like your height makes a difference, and whether you're fast or slow twitch muscles makes a difference. So if there is someone who is taller than Usain Bolt, do you think that would automatically make him a faster runner?
Well, it depends. You see, if he's taller, there are 2 factors. One, if he's taller, the air resistance is much more, so he might be a bit slower. On second thoughts, if he's taller, his legs will be longer, which means he might run faster.
Okay, thank you so much.
You give a very good hypothesis. Maybe one day we'll find it out. Next, can we have Mr. Dean?
Hi, Jensong. Yeah, so it's really nice, like combination of like stories of like how like sport science can further improve performance of athletes, right? So I mean a lot of our current knowledge about sport science is really helpful, right? So I think like you give really good example and also use the science concepts to explain that. That's really good. Okay, so just curious. So you mentioned about muscles, right? So is there anything else related to science that can, boost the speed, like, or like, let's say for this, like for sprinter, right? Maybe you can describe a bit more on that.
Well, I have read somewhere
Mm-hmm.
we muscles are usually capable, well, we ordinary humans, of
Mm-hmm.
about 64 miles per hour. The only reason we are not reaching that because our muscles are not fast enough to push our legs to the ground. That's why we stay longer in the air and it's slower. That's as much as I
Mm-hmm.
know.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jenson, for teaching me so much of stuff in one single story. Now let's have Miss Altina to ask you the very last questions for your sessions. Here we
Okay,
have.
hi, Jansong. Okay, what I want to
Hello there.
ask is, hi. Okay, Simbot is the fastest man. So I know that he already retired for sprinter for running. So do you know any person can replace his place? Can break the record of Usain Bolt?
Break the record, you say, well, let me think. Well, I remember there's a runner who is said to be faster than Usain Bolt, but his record is not official. I think he might stand a chance. I forgot his name, but his nationality is United States of America.
Oh, okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenson. I'm very impressed. I think we all actually learned quite a lot of stuff from your story. Is there anything you would like to share with us at the very last note?
What I would like to say is, well, some of us we don't have like good body. Like what I said, some may be very fat, or some may be too slim, or some may have diseases like asthma. However, there are always spots where they can settle in. So don't give up looking.
Thank you. Thank you for the encouragement and also your sharing, Jensen. This marks the end of your presentations, and I really appreciate all the inputs that you provide to all of us. So,
Thank you for giving me this chance.
yes. Right now, we are going to have our very last presenter for these sessions, which is Fatima Azara binti Omar Badosha from SMKA Sheikh Abdullah Fahim. Are you ready, Fatima Azara?
Yes.
Yes. So let's welcome Fatima Azara binti Omar Badosha, who is going to present the story of Alan Robert, the French Spider-Man. Let's welcome her.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. Good afternoon, dear chairperson, line of judges, and my fellow audiences. Today, I would like to share with you about the real Spider-Man. The Marvel Spidey wore spider-themed costume, climb buildings, shoot webs, and swing from one building to another. Alain Roubaix, the real human spider, is a French free solo climber born on 7 August 1962 from Burgundy, France. He climbed buildings and rocks without any climbing gears except for a bag of chalk and pair of climbing shoes. Rock climbing uses the muscles of arms and legs to pull up a sheer rock face and uses the brain to place hands and feet accurately. It needs the collaboration of mind and body. Alan Roubaix was not born with superpowers, but made himself from scratch. When he was young, while watching the mountain movie about two brothers who served as a rescue party and climb mountains to seek survivors after an airplane crash, inspired him to become a climber. Prior to climbing skyscrapers, he was renowned for climbing the world's most extreme cliff. He had 7 serious accidents. The worst was in 1982. He fell 15 meters while abseiling. He was in coma for 5 days with fractured forearm, pelvis, nose, dislocated elbow, damaged nerve, and partially paralyzed. The doctors told him that he could never climb again. Well, climbing is his passion, so he never gave up. Now, the French Spider-Man is internationally renowned for having ascended over 120 skyscrapers. In 1994, the CityCorp Tower in Chicago was his first tall building climb. Among his great achievements, in 2009, he successfully made to the top of the Petronas Twin Tower. In 2011, he climbed the tallest skyscraper in the world, the Burj Khalifa Tower in Dubai. In 2012, he set the Guinness World Record for climbing the 300-meter Aspire Tower in Doha, Qatar, with the fastest time, 1 hour and 33 minutes. Alan Rubey inspired me in many ways, especially his persistence to achieve his passion despite any obstacles come. Everyone can be superhuman. Passion, determination, and hard work can turn all of us into superhuman. Thank you for listening. I am Fatima Azahra binti Omar from SMKA Syekh Abdul Fahid. Goodbye.
Thank you, Fatima Azara, for your story. I think I gone through all the skyscrapers with your story just now. I was like, oh, this is even more than just Petronas. We actually have a lot more skyscrapers over the world. So right now, are you ready for your Q&A? Yes? Cool. So let us have Miss Azlina.
Okay, hi Fatima Zahra. Okay, wow. Now I know the story of Spider-Man is real. I think it's only a movie. Okay. So mostly I heard from all of the storytelling about the superhuman is come from the other country. Okay, do you know any of the Malaysian that have extraordinary is a superhuman? Any Malaysian?
Malaysian. The Rata Krishnan Velu, he is the Raja Gigi of Malaysia. He used his teeth to pull 2 KTM trains with the total weight of 260 tons.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, you know a lot, yeah, Fatima Azara. Right now, let's have Dr. Kumita to continue the Q&A sessions.
Thank you so much, Fatima. That was a very fun story to listen to. You mentioned something about how he had a fastest time when he climbed one of the skyscrapers. Was that just in comparison to some of the other skyscrapers that he has climbed, or are there other Spider-Men out there that who do the same thing that he does?
I can't really understand.
Oh, sorry. I'll summarize. So my question is, you mentioned something about there being the fastest time when he climbed one of the buildings. So
Yes.
is it just in comparison to all the other buildings he's climbed, or is it in comparison to there are other like Spider-Man in the world?
The 300-meter was the fastest, but there are a lot more skyscrapers that he climbed, and he was when he climbed the skyscrapers. First of all, he's feeling fears of height. Then he trained himself, and now he has climbed more than 120 skyscrapers.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dr. Kumita. And now we have Mr. Dean for his questions to you. Yep.
Hi Zara. Yeah, it's very nice example that when you describe about the French Spider-Man and you walk us through all the series of skyscrapers that he attempted to climb, and I really like the idea that you talk about, like he actually failed, right? And then I mean, like there were incidences that he actually failed, right? And succumbed to serious injury, right? And then recovered and keep on doing what he is passionate on, right? So I would like to ask something like a different angle. Like, so most of us we are afraid or we are fear of heights, right? So just curious, do you think like with current science or current technology, right, is there a way to shut off this fear of height? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the question. I'm not really know about that thing, but we must do something that we are afraid to overcome our fear. Like Alan Rube, first of all, he was afraid of height, but he started to climb. First of all, he climbed the rocks, and step by step, he reached the highest level, which is he climbed the skyscrapers. So from this, we know that if we want to overcome our fear, we must do the fear that we do the fear that we are afraid of.
All right. I mean, that's really nice advice. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, all judges. Fatima Azara, do you have anything that you would like to share to all of us in this?
It's just that if we fail in our life, in any circumstances, we must not give up and we must move on with our life. That's all.
Thank you so much for the advice, Fatima Azara. And I strongly believe that with passion, determination, as well as hard work, we could go further and to reach our goals. So this is our last presenter we have for today's grand finals. And this means the most important time has come to our judges because they're going to make their decisions to select the winners for today's sessions. And thank you all who are watching on YouTube and Facebook. We really appreciate all your participations out there. And we also look forward to have more people supporting science communication in future. So we will come back to announce the result of today's grand final at 4 p.m. sharp. So don't forget to tune in to YouTube and Facebook channel of Penang Science Cluster to check out who are the winners for today's Telling Science by Agilent 2021, both primary and secondary school category. It was very, very eye-opening to have all our secondary school finalists to talk about superhumans. Thank you all who joined us today. See you later. Bye.